PathMonk is the AI for website conversions. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in the buying journey separates you from the competition online. PathMonk qualifies and converts leads on the website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50% by adding PathMonk to your website in seconds, letting the AI do all the work and increase conversions by 50% while you keep doing marketing as usual. Check us out on pathmonk.com. All right, everybody, welcome to today's episode of PathMonk Presents. Today, we're joined by Arthur Rocha. He's the owner of Stonebridge Imports. Arthur, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Of course, happy to have you, Arthur. So why don't we start with the basics a little bit? If you could tell us a little bit about the the big idea behind your company, and if you were explaining it to a friend over coffee, how would you describe what you do?
Yeah, we help, spiritual and alternative entrepreneurs source crystals and help grow their business through intentional products and digital tools. So
That's
that
quite
means,
fascinating.
yeah, mostly crystals, gemstones, tools for spiritual shops, carvings, and materials to wire wrap or make jewelry or make crafts.
Got it. Nice. And can you tell us a little bit about, I guess the power of crystals, if you will? And, I've heard that they're becoming more popular. I mean, depending on what kind of social media, circles you're in, but, anything that has to do with spirituality these days, you will hear crystals and rocks pop up, and what was the benefit of using them? How do you use them? And, if you could give us a glimpse into that world just for a second.
Yeah, for sure. I actually studied physics, which is very grounding science, the foundational science, and I'm a scientist at heart. So for me, crystals was really not really something I believed in. Uh, but over the course of working with them, I really changed my mindset quite a bit. And going through my own spiritual journey, I found that crystals can be a really powerful tool to help you grow spiritually and in your life. And I learned a lot about crystals and what they mean. And I think it's, in my perspective, everyone has their own perspective, is they're a tool to help you grow in your spiritual journey. And I think that there's a lot of power to it. Maybe, you can call it the placebo effect, or you can call it, actual energies or things like that. And there's a lot around that realm. But I believe that they can be really powerful to work through in your own journey.
Okay, got it. So maybe you could just give us an idea of who the ICP, just to use marketing lingo here, just your ideal customer profile, if you will, for your products are, what kind of people come and shop? Because obviously you have a retail store, you have brick and mortar, and also you sell online. But generally speaking, who's interested in crystals?
Yeah, for sure. Our main market is supplying other stores and people who use the crystals and stones for their practice. So there are metaphysical shops, small retailers in touristy areas, and artisans who craft crystals, jewelry, professional carvers who have, soapstone carving pieces and galleries. And also we supply schools with teaching materials, minerals, rocks for scientific purposes as well. That's
Oh,
the
that's
big
pretty cool.
wholesale client.
Yeah.
On the other end, the retail brand, the Rock Space, we supply our local market for people who are really interested in this tool for their personal use.
Got it. Okay. So it varies quite a bit, right? It's just not one specific segment, let's say. But I'm also curious, how do most of these people discover you? Are there any channels in terms of marketing that have become your go-to for bringing in new clients and new business, let's say?
For sure. So Stonebridge Reports grew online a lot in the last decade via SEO. So we did a really strong work on a website, on blog writing, on really bringing organic traffic through Google to intent keyword searching. And that's really got the business to basically into a couple years ago when AI just completely changed that landscape. And today, we have, the business been around for 20 years, so a lot of word of mouth and other channels. So we do Facebook ads to attract new audiences. So we run ads to shop owners, people who are interested in starting their business, and we really focused on Facebook. We also have a store on a marketplace called Fair, which is a marketplace for store owners. So that brings a bit of a traffic as well.
That's good, especially here in the SEO. You guys been around for so long. That's one of those long-term strategies that people typically implement or try to implement for the short term, but actually works better for the long term, right? And hearing that's working well for you guys. Obviously, word of mouth is the classic, right? Referral channel, right? But I'm curious, how much of a role does your website play in pulling in new business? And maybe if you can talk about anything about it that you think really works right now, or anything that you got your eye on improving.
Yeah, the website is foundational. We run our B2B through the website as an e-commerce platform. So our flow of a funnel is organic traffic or Facebook traffic goes to a wholesale application, and we approve businesses only, not you know end consumers. And they go through a training program that kind of follows what we do and how to get the best value and how to actually source crystals in their own. And we provide that value to them and the confidence they can buy from us, so we know what we're talking about. And the website is, in terms of crystals and products that are from the earth, they're not manufactured. So we have to create a lot of product and a lot of different SKUs to put on there on a daily basis. So we're not really getting a little widget that's we've been in millions of them. It's like 10, 20, 100 of the same thing, and then there's another different batch, and every time it's a bit different. So we do a lot of cataloging. So our website is quite large with a lot of different products.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, obviously, right? But I'm curious, from your experience, what actually makes a website convert? And it could be, I know you handle different sides of the businesses rather. Do you have any favorite tools that you rely on your day-to-day, any tactics, or when it comes to converting, that worked wonders for you?
Yeah, for sure. From my be working in marketing and this business and a few other businesses, and my main thing is you have to be clear, not clever. I think trying to be interesting or different too much really kills conversions. And being clear on exactly what you do and what the problem you solve will help the customer go through that journey. The hit on that homepage above the fold has to be really clear. That's kind of like the foundational piece. And copywriting is the thing that I pay most attention to in all my businesses. In terms of tools and things, it's just really having the right information at the right time, that we put in there for the customer. From that ad perspective, they click on something, they go to the website, the next page has to be followed through with that, and the copy has to be consistent across. Then follow up with an email, the same copy, the same clearness of the value proposition you have for the customer. And we use Shopify. We are on the Shopify Plus program, and I freaking love it. Every day, I find a new little option there that helps us a little bit better. We use a lot of the different features in terms of market, in terms of the SEO features they have, in terms of the different connections for other marketplaces. So I'm really into Shopify these days, learning a lot.
We love to hear that because Pathmark is a native integration with Shopify, and we're partners, so we know kind of how powerful of a platform it is, especially for an e-commerce business. And it sounds like you guys are doing great with it. So yeah, that's awesome. I want to switch gears for a second, Arthur, and talk about you as a leader, as the owner, right, of the business. What's your day-to-day like? If you could give us a glimpse into the main things you focus on a day-to-day, what you have to take care of, and things of that sort, that that give us an idea of what's a day in the life of Arthur.
Yeah, for sure. I I kind of structure my week a little bit different. So on Thursdays and Fridays, I usually have I work from home and I really focus on working on the business, so strategizing and writing and really clearly thinking. That's kind of those 2 days of the week. And then on Tuesday and Wednesdays is my support the team days. So I'm in the office and in the warehouse with the team, and I have a whole day of just meetings one after the other, all stacked in one day, and I get a lot done by just being there, supporting, removing the barriers from what they need to accomplish. So I have a marketing meeting, and then an operations meeting, then I have a merchandising meeting, and I go through those in one big day. And then the other days of the week, like Monday or Saturday, I work as well. There's a kind of buffer day, so I do all the admin stuff and other things that go along, and phone calls and things like that. I really focus primarily my time on the finance part of the business and the marketing part of the business, which is the part I really like. We have a really strong operations manager, Joanna, and she really takes in of the warehouse and the pick, pack, and ship and the processing of the products, which I'm really happy for.
Course. That sounds like a lot of fun. And honestly, there's a part of me that's impressed in the sense that, well, you must be organized, right? When you have a role like yours. And it sounds like you're batching your days. You have meetings all stacked in one day, as you said, and then you have buffer. Sounds to me like, that you're following some kind of productivity framework or some kind. But yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I love to hear that because many people would just spin their wheels, and especially when it comes to having a role like yours, it's it's a lot of stress. Obviously, it's a lot of responsibility and a lot of meetings, and you got to be able to manage your time and your energy a lot more efficiently than you would have with a different position. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I touch a lot from books and podcasts, and I pick a little bit here and there, and I kind of formulate my own system to keep me sane, right?
Right. I was gonna ask actually. There's a flood of content out there, right? So you just mentioned podcasts. How do you stay focused and keep learning? I don't know if there's places or people that you turn to, or even a routine. Well, you touched on it, right, with your work week. But do you have anything for inspiration or for just staying ahead, let's say?
Inspiration, staying ahead. I like to read a lot. I right now, uh, hmm, not really sure exactly if I plug anything here per se, but one of the persons that really loud right now on social media and things like that. I've read two of his books. Is Alex Hamosi with the $100 million leads, and that one's a pretty interesting book. It doesn't really tell you much about your personal framework, but it really helps me stay focused on what really matters for the business, which is driving the revenue.
Okay. Yeah. I think most people are familiar with Hormozy, especially in the marketing world, right? He's just boomed in the last few years. And yeah, I read this first one, $100 million offers. I haven't read the second one. So yeah, I'm interested in checking that out. But Arthur, we're coming towards the end of the show. So I want to jump into our rapid fire question segment, if you don't mind. And the only let's say kind of rule that we have is that for a concise question, we expect a concise answer, right? It's not a hard fast rule, but that's something we have. Would you be ready for that?
Let's go.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip kind of the first part of this because you said you read a lot. So what's the latest book you picked up, and were there any gems or ideas that really stuck with you?
Uh, I'm blank, man.
All good. All good. So typically, we ask, let's say, watching or reading, right? Do you prefer watching or reading? And so we go into it. It's like, what's the last piece of content it could be? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um,
You
let
wanna
me,
you wanna do that instead?
yeah, just one second. Let me see here if I something. Actually, yeah, maybe I listened to a podcast. One of the recent one that I led was Diary of a CEO. Maybe we can if we ask that question.
All right, let me pause a second so there's a timestamp and then we can go into the question again, all right? All right. Do you prefer watching, reading, or listening?
I prefer listening because I drive and I listen put a podcast on when I'm driving or I'm going for a run. And sometimes those little gems that happen in the podcast, I stop my run and I just make a note really quick and make sure that I don't forget the little piece, which is interesting.
Very good, very good. So what's the latest podcast episode you listened to, or one that really stuck in your mind, and why, why was it important to you? Were there any gems in it that really stuck with you?
Yeah, I recently listened to the Diary of a CEO episode with Simon Sinek, and he is so insightful. And I learned a lot about how we really show up in our business and why. So starting with the why and why we do things is really important, and I have a lot of respect for him.
Nice, yeah. So that's next question is: if you had a magic wand and you could fix one frustrating thing in your marketing life with tech, what would it be?
Oh, I think video editing and photo editing, we take tons of pictures. If even with some automations, it's still somewhat manual because every crystal is different, so we can't really batch too much. And along with videos as well, we take a lot of videos of our own content. And if you could just eliminate auto editing and just have full awesome videos on the go, that would be amazing.
That's a good one for sure. Um, Well, Arthur, I want to thank you a lot for being on the show with us today. I also want to give you the last word. So if someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is the one thing that they will remember about your company and the work you guys are doing?
Yeah, one thing just to take away from today, I think is talk to your customers and speak their language and be clear, not clever.
I like it. That's a little bit of wisdom that they will leave people with. So if anyone wants to check out your business, if they want to check out Stonebridge Imports, or any other business that you might want to plug, let's say, where can they go?
Yeah, we are most active on Instagram because crystals are beautiful and visual, and that's the best platform for that. So Stonebridge Imports or the Rock Space on Instagram.
Amazing. Arthur, thank you again. And I wish you a wonderful day. Hope to see you again soon. Of
Thank you so much, Rick. It was a pleasure talking to you today.
course. Bye, everyone.